here. Hello, hola, party peoples. How are y'all doing? I hope all is well. Let me change my circles back. I kind of dig the rounded circles. Hello, hello, hello. And to everybody who's not in the chat, hello, and welcome back to the show. Okay. I appreciate y'all for coming in. Let's get started. We're gonna go. We're just gonna go. Okay. We're not gonna waste any time. We're just gonna go. Jimmy Uso kicked off the show this week. He was very happy to be back, and the crowd was very accepting of him, as they should have been. I love Jimmy, and even in his bullshit, he was still my distinguished twin. Okay, I could call a spade, and still love my twins, which I do. Okay, so Jimmy came back, and of course, he was just given a beautiful reception by the crowd in Greensboro, North Carolina. I believe that's where they were. And of course, Jimmy was trying to cut a speech, a promo more specifically, about how his little bro decided to take him out and become the new tribal chief, and how it was time for him to whoop that ass. Okay. But he was interrupted by none other than the original tribal chief, Roman Reigns. Now, Roman didn't give Jimmy too much flack. He came out there and he said, join me in acknowledging Jimmy Uso. Okay, his guy, his ace, Coon Boon, his number one. Okay. The respect was mutual, and we love that for Roman. Roman's slowly trying to turn over a new leaf, but them OG tribal chief ways are still in there. And Roman cut a similar speech to what he's been cutting, and he was at the top. He was doing whatever he wanted. He was like, I was telling Jimmy, Jimmy, you wanted to buy a new house. I told you buy a couple of them. Money is of no matter to me. And I was like, listen, since you handing out coins and houses, I need a 3-bedroom, 1-level house, ranch style. I need my baby to get a new car because he want a new car. And that's all I need. I don't need shit else. I can handle the rest. Just make sure the house paid off so I can pay the taxes every year. Okay. That's all I wanted. I didn't want shit else. Since the tribal chief was handing out shit, let me be first in line. I'll acknowledge you for that shit. Okay. Give me my money. Okay, give me my money. That's all I want. Anyways, Jimmy had came back and was like, hey, yo, listen. We are not at the top no more. He was like, we need help. And I only know one person who I know for sure can help us. And Roman's response to that was, no yeet. And Jimmy said, we can't do this by ourselves. We need help. And Jimmy walked away and left Roman in the ring. Now, there was a few cute moments in between all of the madness that was SmackDown. Despite SmackDown's controlled chaos, hear me when I say this, controlled chaos, okay? It was quite balanced and very cohesive, okay? Now, we got our match between LA Knight and Carmelo Hayes. We got that match. It was a good match. The boys was out there wrestling. Andrade showed his face this week. Okay. So it's obvious they kind of pushed out, Hold on, because I'm seeing some comments, y'all. Hold on. Well, happy birthday to you 2x, Jay. I hope you're having a wonderful birthday. You and my mom's birthday is in the same week. My mother's birthday was yesterday, and we're about to celebrate her birthday tomorrow. She is having homemade Chipotle, and she's having cupcakes, and Sunday they're gonna cook Sunday dinner, and it's just gonna be a time, and all of my siblings will be here. All of my siblings cheering gonna be here. Okay, we're gonna have a full house. I don't know, I might live stream it. I might just to show y'all the chaos that is my home when my mother or father decides they want to summon us. They want to summon us into the hive again. So, but happy birthday to you 2 times, Jay. I hope you had a wonderful birthday. And my mom got her birthday gift today. She was very happy. And that's all that matters. Okay. That's all that matters. But, anyways, let's get back to the show. Because I know some of y'all don't care about my mama. Which, mind your fucking business. And don't say nothing ignorant in the comments about my mama. Because that'll get your ass cut. Because I will find you. And I will hurt you. Anyways. Carmelo and LA Knight had a wonderful match today. It was very good, solid time in this match. It was fun to watch. Okay, now the boys ended up competing with Andrade sitting on the outskirts watching from afar. Now, Andrade's came in late. It was well after the match had started. Andrade showed up looking very jokerish in his purple suit. Okay, he came and stood there for a little bit. LA Knight put his hand on, was like, yo, respect. Andrade was just like, I done gave you enough respect, goddammit. Okay? You ain't finna get the respect just out of nowhere, ho. So that's when Carmelo took advantage, put LA Knight back in the ring. And of course, Carmelo couldn't help that Andrade was out there. And he kept looking at Andrade. He kept worrying about what Andrade was going to do. This was a well orchestrated distraction by Andrade due to the fact that Carmelo Hayes has been a bird in his beat. Okay, he has been a bee in his bonnet for the last several weeks, and these two are stuck at 3-3. They have not gone past that. Okay, sir. Andrade didn't really get involved too much, but he did, cause a little bit of a distraction with Carmelo. Carmelo ended up losing, and LA Knight suffered. LA Knight was able to hit the BFT. Now, I will say this. Carmelo Hayes was able to block that BFT at least twice during this match. But the last time that he did this, there was no distraction and there was nothing. The routine went as follows. Carmelo Hayes was pushed on the ropes. He flipped off. He thought he was going to be able to land on his feet and not get caught, but he didn't. He landed on his feet and suffered a nasty BFT to the top of the head. And the ref counted 1, 2, 3. Match was over and it was a clean pin. Okay. And Andrade was on the outskirts clapping. And as soon as Carmelo Hayes rolled out of that ring and sat on the side next to that announcer's table, he was right in his face the very same way that Carmelo Hayes was in his after he suffered a loss to LA Knight. Now, Carmelo goes in the back. Okay, he goes in the back. Because like I said, LA Knight won and he had on his red today and he was looking mighty fine in his red. He won. And as he was in the back, he found Nick Aldis and he was like, Nick Aldis, I beat AJ Styles clean, fair and square. Now, to make sure everybody understands, AJ Styles' injury is a sprain, which means AJ Styles could be out for a couple of weeks and then he'll be back. This was the first week. He may be out next week and then he'll probably pop up the week after. Okay, so AJ is not 100%. He did suffer a sprain to a ligament in his foot, I believe it was. So I don't think he's going to be out for too long. It could be a 2 to 3 week period. AJ probably will show back up around November, probably midways after, probably a little bit after Crown Jewel is when AJ Styles will probably show back up. But AJ Styles will be back. Okay, so that I'm glad it's a sprain and not a full-on tear or a really, really bad injury. Because like I said, AJ just got back and I'm really curious to see what they're going to do with him. Because he's top tier talent, AJ Styles really could have been used much better before he left. And I really want to see what they're going to do with him now that he is back. But anyways, Carmelo Hayes was very adamant that he beat AJ Styles clean, fair and square. And then he has to deal with Andrade. And Nick Aldis was like, nigga, what? Child, okay, listen. First of all, from my knowledge, y'all are stuck at 3-3 in y'all little best of 7 series. Correct? Yeah, you are. So while you worried about your loss, he was like, you lost? You should have been paying attention to the match. So that ain't got nothing to do with me. But while you worried about your loss, you need to be more concerned about making sure you can get over this mountain in molehill. Because if you're going to end this feud between you and Andrade, you need to clear it out. Not leave it at this open-ended question as to which one of you is better. You should have ended that first instead of begging for a damn title match against LA Knight. But I digress. Next week is going to be you versus Andrade, and whoever wins is going to be the one who can go up against LA Knight for the United States Championship. So I suggest you get your shit together. He walked away like a stubborn child. Then Legado del Fantasma shows up. Now Legado ain't been on TV in I feel like in almost a month and a half. It's been almost a month and a half since Legado been on TV. And apparently, Santos Escobar is just like, I see you handing out title shots. Like, what's going on? And Nick Aldis was like, hold up. Last I checked, your ass had a title shot and you lost. So what are you talking about handing out title shots? Sir? Huh? What? He was like, oh, let me clarify. I wasn't talking about me. What about Elektra? What about Los Garza? And he was like, what about him? Pause it, Nick. Because first of all, Elektra ain't wrestled since she brought her ass to the roster. She's only had maybe 2 matches. And if I recall, one of them was with Zelina Vega when they was still on SmackDown. When LWO was still on SmackDown. That was the last time that hoe wrestled in anything. She has been regarded to being a sidekick since she's brought her ass to the main roster. Okay? So I don't know how that equates to you getting an opportunity, but bitch, you gonna have to claw your way up just like the rest of the hoes. Okay? Stop playing with me. And as far as Garza, the Garza twins is concerned, the fraternal twins, baby, listen. Y'all could be out here talking all this mess about how y'all deserve and what y'all want, but y'all ain't did nothing to earn anything. At least Andrade and Carmelo have worked to earn these opportunities that they get. Y'all hoes been sitting at home crying, hiding your tail, because y'all leader is a loser, and so are y'all. Now, let's just call a spade a spade. Now, goddamn, I wouldn't be giving your ass nothing. You wouldn't be getting shit from me. You feel me? Not a damn thing. Nothing. Nasa. I'd be like, you know what? I'll give y'all a match. And that's exactly what Nick said. He was like, y'all want a match? Cool. I got a match for y'all. Next week, I got a new tag team, and I got a team that's ready. I handpicked them. They are ready to go. And they can be your next opponent for you to prove yourself. And then Santos was like, that's all I wanted. We just wanted a chance. We just want a shot. He was like, yep. He was like, you're going to get a shot, all right. And yes. Because he was like, you're going to be, ooh, that tag team is going to be none other than the Motor City Machine Guns. And as much as I love, Legado del Fantasma and their evilness, let me tell you something. Motor City Machine Guns is not no slouch of a team. They never have been, and they never will be. Let me tell y'all. First of all, Alex Shelley is a former TNA champion, and they have been tag team champion in TNA so many times it's too difficult to count. Chris Sabin is a 10-time TNA X Division champion. Let me reiterate, he is a 10-time X Division champion. And that's just TNA championships. That's not championships outside of TNA. Those are just the ones they've collected in that company. They are not no slouch team. And Garza, they're going to get mollywopped against Motor City Machine Guns. And I hate to say it, but they finna be served up. They finna be served up on a platter. It's happening. It's happening, bros. It's happening. Oh, thank you. I hope you enjoy the content. I really do. I'm trying very hard to make sure everybody enjoys it. Some stuff y'all may like, other stuff y'all don't. And some of the stuff y'all like, I'm going to try to do more of. With that being said, don't forget to sign up for the membership, y'all. It is there. It is up. Y'all can sign up. It's very cheap, very minimal. And like I said, next week is when the new content will go up. And I'm going to do that podcast style or get ready with me style. I haven't decided yet. But new content is coming. Trust me. So let's move on. Because the girls got a really good piece to shine today. The tag team champions, Bianca and Jade, went up against Lash and Jakara. And I have to say that Lash and Jakara really, really surprised me. Not in terms of their ability, but they have actually created a cohesive team between the two of them. They now have their own move sets together, and they also work in tandem, very similar to how Bianca and Jade work, where Jade is the power and Bianca is your speed. And she also has some power, but she's not as strong as Jade is. Well, she actually is as strong as Jade. But Jade is the powerhouse in this particular team. On the other side, when you have it with Lash and Jakara, Lash is your powerhouse, and Lash matches Bianca and Jade brawn for brawn, power for power. So I recorded it, so you can watch it later.
Well,
the scare tactics.
Oh no,
I just want to make sure you knew that, because I don't want to be watching it while I'm trying to do this, because it's gonna distract me. So throughout this match, in the beginning of this match, it was very, very good. Actually, the girls, Lash and Jakara, went after Jade and Bianca. They separated the two of them. They got Jade out immediately and targeted Bianca specifically. They stayed on Bianca to the point where it was very difficult for her to get any offense going. And anytime she did, their powerhouse in Lash was able to take her down. Now, there's very few women in the WWE who can really go toe-to-toe with Bianca, and Lash Legend is one of them. She has proven on multiple occasions that she is beyond ready to be at the top of the mountain in NXT, or at least make her way to the main roster to be one of those girls. And if they don't pull the trigger on Lash in NXT, which I'm pretty sure they won't, then Lash can more than likely come to the main roster and be one of the elite girls, the very same way that Bianca was able to, and the very same way that Rhea was. She just has that it factor, and she is going to be a monster on that women's roster when she comes up. It doesn't matter where she lands. She's going to be an amazing superstar given the opportunity. Jakara has cleaned up a lot and tightened up a lot, because there was a time where she was extremely sloppy in the ring, but she's cleaned up and tightened up, and I can appreciate that. So Jakara is very much going to be a good contender as well. If I were Shawn Michaels, I would let Metaphor go up as a group. They all can go up. Send them to SmackDown. Let them be on SmackDown. Cause some ruckus on SmackDown. They have outgrown NXT, in my opinion. And the way that these two women here, Jakara and Lash, have been able to maintain themselves, and how they've been able to excel in this particular area and really, really pick up how good they have become, Lash will be fine on the main roster. They're going to do nothing but add to this roster, and we need them in on the roster. If we're being honest, we need them there. But who wants the World Series?
Let me go to the World Series. I'm sorry, they're going to the NLCS.
Dodgers.
Yeah.
Ugh, I hate the Dodgers.
You're going against the Mets.
What you think?
Dodgers is one of that. The Mets have been hot, but I don't see the Mets beating them.
And what about us?
We win. We got to go against the Yankees.
We can beat the Yankees.
We can. And Aaron Judge is struggling again this postseason like he did last year.
I hate when they lose, Jared. They make me so sad. I feel so bad for them. Is it raining?
No, it's the damn pyro, and the lights are flashing in the stadium.
It look like it's raining. Damn, you need to do something about them veneers, baby. They coming out your mouth, child. They not supposed to cut, supposed to stay in there. Lord have mercy. Anyways, that was a good match. It actually was pretty decent timing with that match. But prior to the match, okay? Prior to the match. Hold on, let me see what y'all said in the comments. Danny said, Motor City Machine Guns were my team in TNA. I never thought I would see them in the WWE. Well, in Triple H's era, baby, anything is possible, okay? Lash and Jakara have most definitely improved tremendously. I agree. If they were going to give Lash a title, they would have by now. They should move up. They should. I think that she would fare better on the main roster. She would have a better shot at a championship on the main roster than she would in NXT. As long as Stephanie and Julia are in NXT, she ain't getting that championship anytime soon. So I would move her up by Royal Rumble. She would be in the Rumble and be moved up immediately. That's just me personally. But anyways, prior to the match between Lash, Jakara, Bianca, and Jade, we had a little interlude. Kevin Owens came out there and interrupted. And when I say Kevin interrupted, baby, Kevin said, listen, y'all, they didn't want me to be here tonight. They told me not to come. And now I'm finna tell y'all why I did what I did. Mic cut off. It was given very much CM Punk, okay? And he was like, oh, so y'all don't want me to talk? Fuck it. I'm going to go on the commentary. Went to the commentary, stole Corey's headset, and said, I didn't turn on Cody. Cody turned his back on me. Child, he got to talking and rambling, and then that's when Cody came down. And Cody came out there and was ready to fight. Cody took off his tie, had his shirt open. Oh, he was ready to bang. You feel me? Kevin came in the ring and was like, bring your ass. And that's when everybody was coming out there. And then Randy came out there. Randy came out there and was telling them, like, yo, back off. You got stuff you got to worry about. Kevin is the last of your worries. You need to back off, right? He goes in the ring and he's like, Kev, calm down, yo. Like, you gotta relax. And he pushing on Kevin and Kevin pushing on him. And child, he got behind Kevin to hold Kevin back. Kevin swung that damn arm over and bust Randy in the face. Randy, and you know Randy ain't on no sucker shit unless he really on some sucker shit, because Randy spun Kevin around and made him see that he forearm punched him in the face. Okay? Randy punched the shit out of Kevin. That's the only thing that stopped Kevin from moving. It was the only thing that made Kevin really stop and process what was happening. He punched Kevin in the face. Kevin got upset, rolled out the ring, and was like, it was almost like he was stunned that he got hit in the face. Okay? And I was shocked because I'm like, why are you upset? You hit him first. Did he not?
Yeah.
So why are you mad? Now, a couple minutes later, Nick Aldis is in the back talking to DIY and to Street Profits. And Nick tells both of them teams, like, hey, listen, I gave you both an equal opportunity at beating the Bloodline. Y'all lost. There was no interference. The match was a clean loss. I don't know what to tell you. I can't help you. That's pretty much it. Okay? That was a donezo deal. They back there arguing, and Nick, all of a sudden, Nick sees something over in the corner, sees them. He like, what the fuck? Wait, he runs. Kevin is stomping the shit out of Randall. I was like, what is happening? I'm like, Kevin, why are you stomping this man? And the first thing out his mouth is, you want to pick sides? You want to pick sides?
Oh, Lord.
I'm like, he did not pick sides, sir. He was trying to stop y'all from fighting. You hit him. He was defending himself. What was he supposed to do? Let you elbow him in the face?
Mm-hmm.
Child, when I tell you Kevin has lost it, Kevin has lost it. Randy was laid out. They had to call a medic. Kevin got pulled away. Now, child, before that, Randy told Cody to go on the bus and go. He was like, you got Gunther to worry about. And Nick was like, listen, Gunther is no slouch. You cannot be tarrying around here worrying about Kevin. You got a title to possibly win in Saudi. And I want that title here. You need to go, calm yourself down, and go prep for Monday. That's what you need to be doing. Cody said, fine, I'm leaving. Now, Randy said, I'm going to talk to Kev, see if we can work this out. Don't worry about it. I got it. Randy said, all right, Cody said, cool. Right, fine, fuck it. But Randy didn't get to talk because Kevin just whooped his ass. Kevin is on some hood tactics right now. Okay? I said, Lord, my God. This man, Kevin, is tired of all y'all mess. See, this is the problem I have. And this is the thing. Now, Kevin is taking Cody's tag teaming with Roman as a betrayal. And from his perspective, I can understand. Because you have to think of it the way most of us would think of it if we were the ones in the trenches. For the better part of that feud, for the better part of Roman's reign, Cody wasn't there. Cody wasn't there during pandemic times. Cody was over in AEW. So Cody wasn't experiencing what Kevin was experiencing. Kevin has been getting his ass kicked for 5 years by the same man and the same people. He has not been able to get out of the blocks when it comes to the bloodline in any way, shape, or form. Let that sink into your brain. Now, you finally got some help in form of a current champion and a former multi-time champion. You yourself are a former multi-time champion and you feel like you got a shot. But even with all of these people on your side, you're still getting your ass kicked every single week. You are not getting any traction. And then you finally beat a form of the bloodline. You finally help somebody get rid of the bloodline, but a new version of that bloodline pops up and you stuck back in the same fucking cycle over and over and over again. You finally thought you had a friend, right? And then you get a title shot. You get a title shot for the championship. A championship you've been trying to get for 5 years. And you lose to the very same man who beat the very same man that you've been trying to beat for 5 years. You lose. And then you look up and that man that you thought was your friend, your confidant, your homeboy, your soldier in arms in the trenches, this man is now siding with the enemy. You're now tagging with him, of all people. He gets no explanation. The only person who gets an explanation is Randy. When he comes out to finally voice his frustration, Solo comes out and cuts him off. There's been no instance where Kevin Owens has been able to truly explain why he's so upset at Cody Rhodes. There's been no instance. He hasn't had a chance to voice his frustrations or at least be able to hear Cody out. And when Cody tried, he had let his anger get the best of him. He was done with Cody by then. Now, I'm not justifying Kevin's behavior, but I can understand it. I can understand it. However, Kevin is too grown for these childish antics. This is childish. But again, it's more to it than just the betrayal. Because if it was just about Roman, then he would address Cody when it comes to Roman, right? Because nobody just goes off half-cocked on their friend out of nowhere and they blame it on the fact that he sided with somebody who was their enemy, right? You're gonna go to your friend if one of your friends was like talking to a girl that was your op or talking to a dude that's your op. You dead ass gonna be like, yo, was you serious right now, bro? Like, I thought we was cool. Like, fuck you doing? You feel me? Like, you're not gonna sit there and just be like, nah, it's cool, whatever. You're not gonna do that. You're gonna tell them that you don't like that shit. You're gonna tell them straight up, like, this shit is trash, bro. Like, are you fucking kidding me? But that's not the case. So, like I said, oftentimes when we're seeing things on TV play out, there's a lot more of a deeper meaning to it than just what we're seeing on TV. Kevin is more than frustrated. He's angry. He's angry. He's frustrated. He feels like he is no longer able to do what he's wanted to do. And now he has to sit back and watch somebody who he thought was his friend go out there and wrestle with his op and do it successfully. He beat the bloodline with Roman in tow, along with Jimmy Uso. Not to mention, they saved his ass that night. You feel me? It was frustration, jealousy, and anger that fueled Kevin's turn on Cody. I believe wholeheartedly that even if Roman never came back into the picture, Kevin still would have turned on Cody at some point. It was inevitable. It almost happened when it was at Bash in Berlin and they had the match. This just ignited the powder keg. You feel what I'm saying? Not Randy's about that life. Well, he was on the ground today, babe. He was on the ground today. Kevin already was feeling some type of way when Cody gave him the title shot. He most definitely was, Danny. You're absolutely correct. With all that being said, ladies and gents, there was another women's match tonight over on Smackdown, and it had something to do with the women's champion Nia Jax and her new op, Naomi. Now, Nia Jax came out there to address Liv Morgan and their potential match at Bash at Crown Jewel for the inaugural Crown Jewel Championship. And essentially, she said what she always says. But I will give her props. She gave Bayley her props. She said Bayley gave her a challenge. She was probably one of her best opponents. And she really fought hard in that match. And she respected her for it. But ultimately, she ended up flat on her back, just like every other opponent that she goes up against, which is true. But Naomi came out there and clocked some serious tea. Naomi said, sis, let's not act like you just out here dominating and destroying everybody. Because if I recall, the main reason why you still got that championship is because of that fake ass Barbie you call Tiffany Stratton standing next to you. That's the reason why you keeping the title. Every match you've had, she has been involved in. So let's not act like you just out here beating everybody, because I know for a fact that I can beat you. And if you don't keep that bitch on your side, I know damn well that championship is going to come home to me. And Nia Jax was like, well, since you keep talking shit, I'm tired of looking in your face anyway. She was like, how about I just annihilate you and take you out from the beginning? So she was like, bring me a ref, and if Nick Aldis is approving it, let's have a match right now. She was dressed, Naomi was dressed, ref came out, match began. The girls was in there fighting. Now, they had substantial time, okay? They had substantial time.
Laid it right in his hand. He got hit.
Yo.
He just, thank you.
Damn, he did not wrap him right. He gonna be in trouble. I'm watching football, y'all. He gonna be in trouble when they go back to practice, when they go home. Arizona gonna be running fucking routes, nigga. Gonna be running 3 days, nigga. I don't want to do this no more. That's too damn bad. You keep on running. Anyway. He said, now, Tiffany, you gotta just let Nia grab you like that. Child. Nia been beating her ass, okay? And for her to be somebody's friend, she really don't know how to be nobody's friend. Because I'd be damned if I'm going to be a grown-ass woman getting choked out by another bitch in front of everybody. That's craziness. You crazy. I push her ass off of me so fast. Like, bitch, get the fuck off of me. Stop grabbing me like that. Like, I don't fuck around with you like that. We not slapboxing out here. Stop fucking playing with me before you get hurt. I'm not playing with you. I'll punch you in the cooter. I'm not playing. I has no problems fisting your ass, dead ass. And I meant it exactly how I said it. I don't give a goddamn. Damn, all them niggas' knees messed up. Everybody on Utah got messed up knees. Why they got on knee braces?
He's probably the offensive lineman.
Good Lord. Okay. Anyways, during this match, Liv Morgan and the meth queen and her king and her enforcer came out there, and they decided they was gonna come ringside because for whatever reason, Liv couldn't figure out if she was trying to taunt Nia or Naomi. So she came out there and stood ringside with her meth king and then her enforcer that don't know how to talk no more, because Raquel ain't spoke a word since she been back. She ain't said shit. Okay, so she came out. They came out there. They cost Nia this match, but Naomi could have won it without their help. But they did involve themselves in the match, and they took Tiffany out, and because Tiffany got involved in the match anyway. Tiffany was about to use her briefcase on Naomi, and Raquel took it. So Raquel took the briefcase. Tiffany wanted it back, and Naomi kicked Tiffany in the head. That took Tiffany out. So Liv and them caused a distraction. Raquel got on the other side of the ring, distracted the ref, and Liv grabbed Tiffany's briefcase and bust Nia in the side with it when she was trying to hit that annihilator. Now, Naomi was able to get up, get Nia off the top turnbuckle, and power slam her ass on the rope, and then roll her ass up like she was about to dig her down for life. You feel what I'm saying? And that's how she was able to get the W. Nia was laid out, prostrate before the Lord, trying to contemplate how she lost this match. And Naomi walked away the victor, okay? Now, as Naomi was leaving, she left and went in the back. Raquel, Liv, and of course they coked out friend, what the fuck is his name? Dom. They all got in the ring. Now, Raquel and Liv attacked Nia Jax and was beating the brakes off of her. Well, they got ready to get in the ring to beat her up, but Nia was already up in the ring, and they looked like they was getting ready to attack, but they didn't. Raquel was in the back. They looked like they was getting ready to leave, and that's when Rhea Ripley's music hit. Rhea came out there, kicked Raquel dead in her shit, and as Liv was getting ready to leave, she rolled in the ring, and I'm like, bitch, you got a whole nother problem in the ring right there. You just cost this woman her match. Who outside? Nobody?
Big Chris and Little Chris.
Oh, my son here. Child, he parked at the very end of the driveway.
Yeah, no choice.
Mm-hmm. So, did you pull all the way up with the cars? You and Mama at the front? No, Crystal ain't at front?
No, me and Dad's truck are in front of the garage. Crystal's car is behind Dad.
And Dad's the Cadillac is by the door.
And then Christopher's behind
the Cadillac.
Yeah,
but he shouldn't be at the very end of the driveway.
No, he's not at the very end of the driveway.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay. Anyway, so
he's
Rhea
literally not at the very end of the driveway,
but he close.
But
he no, close enough back.
But the car, yeah, but he's close enough back in the driveway where I can look out the window and see the car. But he's not.
I mean, yeah, because the I see what you're saying. Yeah. Don't worry about it. Because there's another car up there. There's a third car, so it's gonna block him from. I see what you're saying, though. Yeah. Anyways, sir, Rhea went in there, took out Raquel. Raquel was laid out. And then she went after Liv and Dom. Now Dom ran to the other side. Liv ran in the ring. Liv was being held up by Nia. Instead of allowing Nia to like let Liv go, Rhea kicked the shit out of Nia Jax and laid her out. And then she went after Liv. As she was going after Liv, Dom was trying to come in there and get her. So she dropped Liv, went after Dom, and they both ran out the ring. So you got Nia Jax laid out on the ring with Tiffany Stratton being comforted. Liv Morgan is running away with her meth head boyfriend. And Rhea is standing tall in the ring. Let me tell y'all what we just saw. We just saw the beginnings of what is going to happen at Survivor Series with War Games. Now, trust what I'm saying. Rhea is going to have to pull herself some people to be on her squad. The smartest thing for Rhea to do is to get the big three. You have the big three on your team, and you've got Nia, Tiffany, Raquel, and Liv on the other. You can all be enemies, but like I always tell y'all, the enemy of my enemy is my friend until they're my enemy. The only reason why Nia and Liv are enemies now is because there's something at stake for them to get. Otherwise, they would never be crossing paths in this manner, okay? But given the fact that you just had Rhea come to SmackDown to attack Nia, I bet you any amount of money Nia's going to get a receipt. And when she does, after November 1st, after November 2nd, I promise you they're going to build that Survivor Series team around Naomi, Rhea Ripley, Jade, and Bianca, and they're going to have them going up against Nia, Liv, Raquel, and Tiffany Stratton. I'm telling you. Is that my baby?
Sure
Hi.
It sure is.
Hi, Sean.
How you doing?
I'm fine.
Don't win?
How you been?
Okay, just hurting.
Don't win? Did y'all win? What was the score?
53-0.
Damn!
Or 43-0. I mean, they top 140 in the nation.
Oh, okay. So they one of the top schools in okay.
Pretty good.
That hurt. Hello, sir.
Hey.
How you doing?
Hey,
What's your record now?
2-5.
Well, that's not bad.
2-6.
It ain't that bad, nephew.
No, CJ, like I know that side. He like we can be better than what we showing.
If we would have won this game, we could have went to the playoffs.
Oh.
Yeah. But, you know.
Sound like the Browns.
Okay.
Okay. That's what it sounds like. You know, like, sounds like the Browns. Only difference is you ain't got a rapist as your quarterback. So, just saying.
Somebody says, speaking of him, somebody said something on Twitter. And when he said it, I laughed. I shouldn't have, but it's true.
What did it say?
They said that he settled more sexual assault cases than touchdowns. Did he say? I'm sorry.
Did he settle touchdowns? That he made touchdowns?
He settled more sexual assault cases than touchdowns thrown as a Cleveland Brown.
Well, I mean,
which is true.
It's true.
23 cases that we know of that he's closed.
It's 28.
Well, no,
It's 28.
Okay, 28.
I saw it the other day. Daddy made me look it up.
He closed out 28.
Mm.
Since he's been here, the 3 years he's been here, he's only thrown 19 touchdown passes.
I don't know. Blame Hazard on
I
them.
was crying. I said, I said, Dad.
I know why we call them whorebells, but my dad doesn't. So how do I explain it to him? Okay, so I could explain it, but your daddy you gonna have to do it in layman's terms. So the only thing you can say is Liv took somebody's man that didn't belong to her. So that's why we call her whorebells. Because whores are home wreckers.
Well, she called herself a home wrecker.
But she don't call herself a whore.
You might as well. You call yourself a home wrecker.
She might as well be called a whore. Might as well. Not that she likes wrecking homes regularly. That's some wild shit. That's wild as hell. Anyways, the final match, you can turn the fan on, baby. The final match tonight was between Solo and Jimmy. Now, I told y'all earlier that Jimmy said very plainly that he wanted to whip his little brother's ass because of all the pain he put him through. And well, for the most part, they had a pretty even kill match, but the bloodline was in tow. And as I have said on multiple occasions, Solo is not doing stuff that he didn't already learn from his predecessor. Everything that he has been doing has been carefully orchestrated, and it's carefully orchestrated by him. The only difference is he doesn't have a wise man to strategize with. He does everything on his own for the benefit of his glory, not for the benefit of his family. And that's why Solo is able to succeed, because he has these three guys to follow behind him and to make him look good, even though Solo technically is a losing tribal chief. He has not won any of his major matches that he has competed in. Not any of them. At least Roman can say that when a plan was executed, it was fully executed to his benefit and to the benefit of the bloodline itself. The only thing that the bloodline has been successful at doing is capturing those tag team titles and keeping them, which is very similar to the way the Judgment Day has been keeping the tag team titles hostage and not letting them go to a team who actually wants to be champion. With all that being said, Jimmy and Solo fought, and Solo cheated. Once Jacob realized that Solo was getting ready to lose, he completely intervened, and that cost Solo the match, but eventually they were able to take down and beat Jimmy down. Now, the tribal chief, the original OG, came out, and he decided he was going to try to take them down by himself, but that is not an easy feat. Jacob Fatu by himself represents at least 3 members of the bloodline alone. So going up against Jacob, Tama, and Tonga all together is suicide. And it literally ended up being his downfall. Roman ended up getting beaten down along with Jimmy, and he ended up suffering that thumb to the throat, that Samoan spike, and there was no help for either of them. Jimmy reiterated at the end of the match, at the end of the show, we can't do this by ourselves. We need help. And he's right. Now, as far as I'm concerned, for right now, their biggest concern is trying to make sure that they get Jey Uso to come out and be on their side. The only way that that's going to happen is if Jey Uso starts getting attacked by the bloodline, which more than likely will happen sometime soon because they keep alluding to this reunion of the original bloodline. Now, they have options as to who they can add as their fourth in this particular match on their side. And right now, Sami Zayn is down on his luck and his back is against the wind. And he definitely could use a pick me up in the form of his former family in the bloodline. And this new version of Roman Reigns as the tribal chief could be the very thing he needs to boost his confidence back up to where he should be. Which, in my opinion, he should be champion right now. But I digress. This is going to be interesting as to see how they're going to start building the Survivor Series teams. But Triple H is very smart and he's very calculated. He is slowly but surely integrating these Survivor Series style teams into the storylines that are outside of Crown Jewel. So everybody that's not going to be involved in Survivor Series, if you notice, are not going to be the ones that we're going to see on TV prominently on both shows. You're only going to see those who are going to be on Crown Jewel within the next 3 weeks and those who are getting ready to be pushed and built up to Survivor Series. I promise y'all got to believe me when I tell y'all. They are slowly starting to plant the seeds for Survivor Series. Slowly but surely. They have already got part of the teams built for the women's Survivor Series match. Now, unless they decide to go with, let's go back to Rhea and Toe, okay? So unless they flip this and decide to go with Bayley and Naomi and Rhea, and then they call on Charlotte Flair, because Charlotte has been out for quite some time and she should be getting ready to get cleared soon. That's the only other iteration that would work outside of the big three going in with Rhea Ripley. They got an easy way to do this, and they got another way to do this with Bayley, Charlotte, and Rhea Ripley and Naomi on that squad. Either way, it's going to be Naomi and Rhea inside that cage. The other two members are up for grabs, but they got 4 people they can pick from. Bianca, Jade, Bayley, and they got Charlotte. Unless they decide to bring back Becky, which I wouldn't do because Becky was in it last time as a surprise. This time, if Charlotte is cleared and ready to go, she needs to be the one to go in there. At least that's how I would do it. Okay? She was like, that's it? I'm like, yeah. Kayla, just tell your daddy she is sleeping with somebody else's boyfriend and calls herself a homewrecker. That's why we call her whore bells. Okay? That's why. I can't take Solo seriously. Well, you might not be able to take him seriously, but a lot of people like watching him, and he is very much a hated heel, which is what he should be. He got enough heat to make people watch to see his downfall. Sammy is in the same position he was in when he originally got with the bloodline. You know what, Danny? You're absolutely correct. You are 100% right. Which is why it would make sense if he was to come back. Because I know if Jay was to ask, he would come back. But Roman has to have some humility and bring him back too. Because he owes him that. I want Bianca and Jay and Io and Kyrie on Team Rhea. Personally, I don't see any reason to include Io and Kyrie in that match. They don't have any stakes in terms of the two champions that would be in that match. You would want to make it so that not only do they have a rivalry, because technically Nia got beef with Bianca and with Jade. Prior to her becoming queen of the ring, she took out both of them. She targeted Bianca's knee, which was messed up during that time, and she cheated to beat Jade. So they have a legitimate reason to want to go after Nia Jax. Naomi also has a legitimate reason to go after Nia Jax, seeing as how she just pinned the bitch, and she been in there going, and Nia's been going after Naomi for quite some time, specifically because she knows that she's a former champion and a severe threat to her championship. So to me, it makes more sense to put the big three and Rhea in there because they have a legitimate claim to Nia more specifically. If you're going to balance it, you could, or if you're going to make this out to be something that could be a little bit more messy, like I said, you can do Rhea, Naomi, and you can have Charlotte and Bailey. People who are going after Nia. There's not enough people on the main roster on Raw to specifically be going after Liv Morgan besides Zelina Vega, if we're being fair. She has no other competitors outside of Rhea Ripley. Liv has nobody. They have not built up anybody to go after her. Now, I'm sure Raquel Rodriguez will be built to go after her soon. But right now, she don't have no other competitors except for Rhea. So why not make it top heavy on the SmackDown side? Because now you got more competitors to go up against, possibly, and more people that hate her than Liv do. It's the perfect storm right there. You feel me? I know Io is the GOAT of War Games, but she can sit it out this year. She definitely can. She definitely can. Oh, yeah, you're right. Who's on Team Liv? My picks for them, and from what I saw today, was Liv, Raquel, Nia Jax, and Tiffany Stratton. That's the smart way to book this War Games match. It could be a show crossover completely. But they're going to do what they do. So, y'all, that was SmackDown. We saw a lot of foreshadowing with SmackDown, and it looks like Motor City Machine Guns is going to be popping up on the main roster very, very soon. Now, next week on NXT is on fire. We're going to be talking about Halloween Havoc very soon. The return of the Halloween Havoc wheel is next Tuesday on NXT. And we are not getting Halloween Havoc until October 26th. And it is going to be a prime time. It's not going to be a TV PLE, which kind of shocked me. I thought they were going to make it a TV PLE, but it isn't. It's going to be streamed exclusively on Peacock. It's a prime time PLE, which is kind of cool. So next week, the Halloween Havoc wheel is going to determine the stipulation for matches that are going to happen at Halloween Havoc. But we're going to have some matches next week as well, okay? So first things first, Stephanie Vacker is going to be competing against, what's her name? Ren Sinclair. That's her name. This is Stephanie's very first match in NXT, but she has competed on the live house shows of WWE, okay? So Stephanie Vacker is going to be competing, and she's going to have her first match against Ren Sinclair. This is going to be very interesting because you're going to see what Stephanie is capable of, and I'm sure Rickety Knees and her little baby friend Roxanne is going to be either in the back watching or coming out there to cause some chaos. Hopefully Julia will be out there to have her back. Nikita Lyons is returning to action this week, and she is going to be going up against Lola Vice. This is going to be interesting. You've got two people who have the mixed martial arts and kickboxing background, and with Lola, I probably would give the edge to Lola in this particular match. Lola's a stronger fighter than Nikita is, and as far as I'm concerned, while she has a strong kickboxing background, it's cool. Lola Vice is dangerous outside of that ring, and as far as I'm concerned, if I was betting, I would put my money on Lola, and that says a lot because y'all know I don't fuck with Lola like that. But it is what it is. Then the final throws of NXT, the finals are going to have the three biggest superstars outside of Trick Williams in NXT competing for an opportunity to face off against Trick Williams. You're going to have Wesley versus Javon Evans versus former NXT champion Ethan Page. And all three of these competitors will be competing for the opportunity to beat Trick Williams for his NXT championship at Halloween Havoc. And finally, Tony D'Angelo is having a North American Championship celebration because he is now his first singles title outside of the UK Championship and the tag team titles. He is collecting a lot of titles in NXT. Tony D'Angelo is going to have his celebration, and I'm sure Obafemi is going to come back and request another match against the Don. So we'll have to wait and see. But there's two more matches that are supposed to be scheduled to happen over
Shit.
in NXT.
If he get the NXT championship, he be Grand Slam champion down
He
there.
will be a Grand Slam champion if he gets the NXT championship. Also, Aura Mensa is going to go up against Lexis King. Lexis King wants to redeem himself against Oro. He feels like Oro pretty much stole a championship. I mean, a win over him, which y'all, in all honesty and being fair, so did Lexis King. Lexis King stole a win over Oro, and Oro just returned the favor. This hasn't sit too well with Lexis because he seems to be trying to turn over a new leaf. But as slimy as his ass has been, I just can't believe a word that he's saying. But he went to Charlie and asked him what type of match would require you to have very strict rules in order for you to win. And Charlie gave him an idea. So I'm assuming that that is the kind of match that we're going to see next Tuesday on NXT. And finally, Ridge Holland is going to face off against Riley Osborne once again. And Ridge Holland is probably going to feel as though he is going to successfully decimate the Chase U, the final pieces of Chase U. But I suspect that Andre Chase is going to return next week along with his partner in tow, Duke Hudson, and they're going to run Ridge Holland right out. And this will probably lead to a match between Ridge and Andre at Halloween Havoc, which I would love that. That would be amazing. Now, not only is Lola Vice going to go up against Nikita Lyons, but she has an issue with Jada Parker, and I suspect that Jada Parker is going to rear her head on NXT as well. So we got a lot going on. It's a lot going on, and of course, Kaylani beat Fatal Influence this past week, so I'm sure she's not going to skate away scot free with Fatal Influence being on the losing end of the stick here. So a lot of stuff is going to be happening this coming week on NXT, and then on Monday, Cody Rhodes is scheduled to be on Monday Night Raw, and you know that he and Gunther are going to be cutting promos, going back and forth. And of course, we got a lot of other shit probably happening. Liv Morgan, and of course, Damian Priest is supposed to be showing back up on Raw. He wasn't there last week, so he should be there this week. And of course, this past Monday, we had Jey Uso being attacked by none other than Braun Breaker. And Braun Breaker has made it very clear that Jey Uso is not in his rear view. He just wanted him to get uncomfortable enough to be able to get him off his rocker. And that's exactly what he did. And now the two are back on the collision course to compete against each other again for that Intercontinental Championship. And I suspect that that is going to happen sometime at Crown Jewel. Now, there's a lot more that's probably going to end up happening. We were made a promise that The Rock was going to show up on SmackDown today, but he didn't. And there was also some news about The Rock possibly not wrestling next year at WrestleMania 41. Apparently, he has a very tight schedule, and he doesn't believe that he'll be able to focus on the wrestling as well as handle his obligations outside of the ring. And so he has made it very clear to WWE that he will not be available to wrestle at WrestleMania 41. Now, this is very interesting because if that's the case to me, he shouldn't have popped up at Bad Blood at all. It made it very confusing as to why the hell he was there and what he was trying to do. Now, Moana 2 is scheduled to come out, I believe, next year. So he's probably going to be on a press tour for that. And I think he has like one or two other movies that's coming out within the next year or so that he's going to be running around and doing press for. So that could be a big reason as to why he will not be able to dedicate time to be able to go. Then again, The Rock has been known to lie when it comes to what he can and can't do. And then he shows up and we end up getting a scheduled match from him. So we never know what's really going on. We only know what the dirt sheets tell us and what The Rock says is true or not. And even then, they blur the lines of reality and kayfabe so many times. All you can do is just wait and see. So I'm going to put my money on that I don't believe this story at all. In fact, I think this story is planted. I do think that he's going to be doing press for Moana, but I don't think that's going to get in the way of him being able to wrestle at WrestleMania 41. I also don't think he has a lot of movies coming out because a lot of the movies that he had got canceled. due to his Disney contract being canceled as well. You know what I'm saying? So that's a whole other conversation for a whole other day. Whatever happened to that lawsuit that he was named? Remember that lawsuit by that black lady that used to date Kurt Angle?
Yeah.
I wonder what happened to that lawsuit. Anyways, we'll talk more about wrestling next week once we get done with Monday Night Raw, which I will go live right after the show. And do not forget, Monday Night Raw is only 2 hours long. It's no longer 3. So I'll be going live at 10:05, possibly 10:15, and we'll talk all about what happened on Monday Night Raw. And as always, I appreciate you guys all for coming in and listening to me rant and rave about wrestling. It really means a lot. I hope you guys share my page. Please tell everybody about it. Please encourage people to subscribe. Please give me a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button if you're over there listening to my lives and my videos every week. And don't forget, the new content is coming out this coming week. And I need you guys to make sure that if you want to get the first exclusive listen to it, that you make sure you come and you join the membership. The membership will get you your own exclusive merch discounts. You'll get all kinds of stuff, y'all. I promise you, you're going to love it. The higher the membership, the bigger the discount. You'll also have access to all of the materials. And the more members I get, the more exclusive stuff you guys will have. I'll do exclusive lives for you guys, and we'll have our own little thing. I may even do live streams of the shows weekly with some of you guys, and we'll just be talking, and you can hear me rant and rave about wrestling. Okay? Some of y'all enjoy it. You get to watch wrestling with somebody, and that's cool. So, with all that being said, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like the video, and don't forget to share it. And I will see you guys on Monday after Monday Night Raw. Have a good night.
If you don't want to see me, if you don't want to see me, did a full 180, crazy, thinking about the way I was. Did the heartbreak change me, baby? But look at where